What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I've got another very important AMC update to bring all of you this evening. So what we're going to be covering in this update is a little bit of the Ortex short interest and utilization data changes that we have seen today, and some of the things that we've been expecting to change that have not, specifically the cost to borrow. Then we're going to get into some of the more important things that we really need to talk about, and honestly, a massive problem that I've seen with some of the information getting spread around in our community over the last couple of weeks. And this concept is transparency and that so-called March 3rd squeeze that AMC is supposed to have based on transparency. Now, the one thing that I kind of want to put in your minds before we really get into this video is, when have we ever seen a rule change come out in the past that has really done anything to affect price action in the short term? Yes, getting transparency rules is good, but with what we're going to see here later in this video, in my mind, these new transparency rules that have come out are really just not even 5 or 10% of the way that we really need to go in order to really get more transparency in our market in enough of a meaningful way to really change how our market works. So before we get into all of that information, if you enjoy the information and analysis that I provide for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And again, guys, you saw it in the live stream today, just how effective that 1348 strategy really is. If you do want a little bit of a free trial in getting all of these Discord alerts that we are sending out every single day, when these alerts are happening, these crosses are happening in the broad market, you can go down, sign up for the premium version of the Discord, use it for free, and if you don't like it, just cancel before March 1st, and no harm done. But definitely, it's a strategy that you definitely should learn. So when we're getting into this video, now AMC closed the day at $15.73, down about 4.5%. It's up a little in the after hours, but the overall market had a very, very bloody day. Now, coming over to Ortex, let me just give this a quick refresh so we can kind of see where we're at over here. Utilization, so-called and supposedly 100%, according to Ortex. I don't agree with this at all anymore. The average cost to borrow, 1.37%. It's actually going down now, which is relatively impossible to do when the utilization is at 100%. We should see some sort of an increase. Even if it was small, that would make sense to be at 100% utilization. But with kind of what we've seen with S3 and some of the other data reporting sources, the 100% utilization number on this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So 20.93% estimated short interest. They had a net borrow today of about 198,000 shares, and 107.43 million shares are estimated to be sold short right now on AMC. Now, let's get into some of these SEC proposed rule changes. So these are all of the rules right here that you can kind of go through and see when they are going to potentially get approved. Now, the one thing that I want you guys to keep in mind is that when these proposed rule changes are voted on to be sort of proposed by the SEC, there is a minimum of a 30-day comment period. So that's the one point here. A lot of people have been talking about, well, this new SEC proposed rule change, 30 days, it's going to get into effect and really hurt the shorts. Not necessarily, because that 30 days is only a minimum of how long the comments are going to be coming in and when the SEC is going to be reading them. But when we come down a little bit further and we take a look at some of these proposed rule changes down here, oh, there's this one right here, comments due March 4th. Well, it's not March 3rd, but it's pretty close, right? Well, let's take a look at what this rule actually is. SEC reopens comment period for pay versus performance. Now, this doesn't sound like a proposed rule change that would really help us with our short squeeze situation. So when we take a look at what this exactly is, if adopted, this proposed rule would strengthen the transparency and quality of effective compensation disclosure. So this is essentially just funds really disclosing what their employees are being compensated for. But there is a proposed rule change that is kind of starting all of this, and that's going to be this one right here. The SEC proposes amendments to enhance private fund reporting. Now, this does sound pretty interesting, and when you read this, it looks like this proposed rule change has been wildly misinterpreted. So, when we take a look at this section right here, the proposed amendments would require current reporting for large hedge fund advisors and advisors to private equity funds. Ooh, sounds pretty interesting. These advisors would file reports within 1 business day of events that indicate significant stress at a fund that could harm investors or signal risk in the broader financial system. So this isn't necessarily based on short interest reporting. It's based on if the firm is really having issues in its portfolio and it is facing insolvency, which, again, it could end up really being, yeah, these shorts are over leveraged on AMC. They've been taking losses. But again, with all the new short interest that we've seen on AMC, these shorts really aren't facing a lot of problems at this time. What we need to see is that technical breakout of AMC to get some of these shorts to cover, the option chain to start filter up, the FOMO buying to come back in, and then we start seeing that big price increase to the upside. But even then, March 3rd, that date doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense. January 26th right here. When we come over to the calendar right here and we think of business days that these can actually be reported and these comments can be submitted, January 26th. So right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, March 3rd, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So the earliest date that this rule that probably isn't going to have a lot of an effect on the overall kind of our situation wouldn't even be coming in to at a minimum the earliest March 10th. And the one thing that I really want to get across to everybody in this video is yes, the SEC, the Department of Justice are doing pretty much everything that they can to really try and make our markets more fair. But it's going to take a lot of time to play out. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to kind of counteract that statement and say, well, we've been at this for a year. The Department of Justice has a very, very high conviction rate. They're going to get all of the data that they possibly can, all of the information, the evidence, so that they are able to get that conviction. The SEC is going to take these slow baby steps forward in order to really try and make our markets more fair the best way that they can. But as we're going to see with this Elon Musk stuff, they really can't do all that much. So when we're coming over to this page right here, we got to kind of go back to some of the things that Elon Musk has said. Now, if you guys have remembered, over the past couple of years, Tesla has been a victim of a lot of short selling in the past, and it's something that Elon Musk has been outspoken about many, many times. Now, when we come over to the CNBC article right here, we can take a look at some of the statements that Elon has made today. Elon Musk cheers on Justice Department probe of short sellers. Tesla CEO Elon Musk took fresh shots at short sellers in the SEC, two of the billionaire's most frequent targets for insults and criticism. He also lauded the Justice Department for launching a probe into short sellers. 2 one-time Tesla shorts are reportedly under federal investigation. I am greatly encouraged by the Justice Department investigating short sellers, Musk told CNBC in an email on Tuesday. This is something the SEC should have done, but curiously did not. So he made a couple of other comments on Twitter as well. When we come down a little bit further, we see this tweet right here. What if Elon Musk and Tesla has been baiting the SEC for years, building their case on the level or corruption, and now they have enough evidence to go public with it all. And Elon comes down here and says, I didn't start the fight, but I will finish it. Very, very interesting. Now, this comment right here is pretty interesting. I'm greatly encouraged by the Justice Department. This is Elon's comment here. And then the SEC.gov is more likely colluding with the Wall Street hedge funds, just a matter of whether it can be proven. And Elon says exactly. So, in my mind, in the past, a lot of people have been kind of trying to bring up the fact that we could use Elon Musk's support in terms of him buying shares of AMC to potentially generate some hype. He can't necessarily do that because it could be seen as manipulation. But if we see Elon Musk start to really get outspoken against manipulative short selling, naked shorting, failure to deliver, short exempts, he has a bigger voice than any and all of the AMC vocalists combined. Having Elon kind of on our side in this basically abusive and manipulative short selling fight that we are in right now is a very, very good thing. Now, honestly, really, really busy guy. I don't know what's going to come of this, but if he really steps up, Elon's a guy, he seems that he's really going to try to accomplish his goals once he puts his mind to something. So if he has it in his mind that he's going to expose a lot of stuff on Wall Street in terms of this manipulative short selling, he is going to do it. So that's something to keep a lookout for in the future. And that is going to wrap up this update on AMC. If you guys enjoyed the information and analysis that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. So I hope you guys are having a great evening, and I'll see you guys in the next video.